Live from the 24-hour tracking center, this is a winter weather alert.
I got some live pictures from downtown Grand Rapids. That's the way it looks out there right now. Look at the snow swirling around the street lights. Still some cars going by out there, but boy, I tell you, it's quite a night, not a night fit for man nor beast. This is a good night to bring your pets indoors. This is good weather to feed the birds, too. They're going to have a tough time after the blizzard with the cold air that we got coming in here. You can see the visibility not too bad out there. You can see across the street pretty well, but snow continues to come down. Here in Grand Rapids, we've had reports of about 2 inches of snow in northern Kent County, 3 inches or a little bit more at the southern end of the county, and it is still coming down at the rate now of about half an inch every hour. Well, let's take a look right now at our, first of all, well, there we go. Hi, it's me right here. Can we go back to the picture there? There we go. You're seeing right now a live picture from our Bridgewater Sky Cam, and that's at 131 and 196. Hardly a car going by, but you can see in the distance there a little bit, which means the visibility is still like over half a mile here. Here's a look at visibilities at the airport. We got a quarter of a mile right now. The lower those numbers are, that means the heavier the snow is at that location. If you're seeing 3 up at Ludington, only a bit of light snow going on there, but wherever you see that quarter, like down at Kalamazoo at the airport there, that means we certainly have some rather heavy snow falling. And I want to show you Storm Track Live here once again and show you some of the heavier snow down there. Wherever you see that darker blue, that's where we're seeing some fairly heavy snow coming down, and it comes in bands. I do want to point out that off to the west of us, we're getting a little bit of lightning here. Look at the lightning around the Chicago area, and there's quite a bit of it right there. We've had reports of lightning in the Chicago area for the past 2 hours, and continues to produce some very heavy snowfall. By the way, they just reported a wind gust just offshore at the water intake to 70 miles an hour throughout much of the Chicago area, 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. There's some wind damage there, including a little bit of wind damage by Wrigley Field, where they had to close some of the roads. But Midway Airport, last I saw, was up to about 7 inches and still coming, and all that snow is moving up here in our direction. Kyle, you've been tracking the storm. What you got for us?
Yeah, I want to start out with a little bit wider view of what this looks like on what this looks like on Storm Track Live. Zooming this out so I can show you the entire scope of what this storm looks like. Snow stretching from Wausau over toward Gaylord, straight down through central Indiana, where it turns into icing and rain. We'll take you in a little bit closer here so you can get a better idea of what this all looks like on Storm Track Live here. Bill, can you flip that into interactive mode for me? I want to zoom into a few spots here into closer into West Michigan where the heaviest of the snow is falling, and we'll track this so you can get an idea of when the heavier bands are pushing into West Michigan, which is not that far from now. You can see we go heavy band, heavy band, heavy band, and then we'll see more develop down to the southwest and west as well. So get out the tracking tool. We'll push this snow into West Michigan. Along the I-80 corridor, you're getting heavy snow, quarter-mile visibility right now in Kalamazoo. You've got more on the way. This is coming here in less than an hour, about an hour or so, and then another band of heavy snow here south of Valparaiso. That's to the I-80 corridor in 2.5 hours, up to I-94 in 3.5 hours. Grand Rapids here in 4 hours and 50 minutes. I want to take you in even a little bit closer. We'll go on a quick radar tour here across West Michigan, starting out right along the Indiana state line. Again, you can see that heavy band of snow stretching through parts of Cass and Berrien County, and that extends down along the Indiana border into South Bend as well. This is all pushing to the north. 3 Rivers here, just south of Kalamazoo on 131. Darker blue, that indicates heavier snow here. Bill just told you quarter-mile visibility here in Kalamazoo. That extends eastward toward Marshall and Battle Creek, and then up into Eaton and Berry County. Right here approaching Gun Lake and Hastings and in Berry County as well. And then anywhere from light to moderate snow, but a lot of heavy blowing going on here in the I-96 corridor, Grand Rapids to Muskegon. Along the lakeshore here, western Muskegon County, we're seeing some bands of heavier snow right here as well. And again, the general trend, north, basically everything's going to the north-northeast. Stepping back a little bit, showing you the full viewing area. Here's that dry slot. That's done. South of Lansing, pushing off to the other side of the state. And Bill, just about everybody, with the exception of just a couple of counties, on our blizzard warnings right now.
That's right. We can take a look at the graphic and show you that just about everybody's under the blizzard warning. By the way, just got a message that Marshall, Calhoun County has had about 3.5 inches there. The only counties that are under the winter storm warning are Newaygo, Lake, Mecosta, Osceola, Isabella, and Clare off to the north, but everybody else under that blizzard warning. Here's Here's a look at what we're tracking, and I want to point out what a blizzard warning really is. How is this different from a winter storm warning? Well, a blizzard warning is a couple of extra things here. It's mainly wind and visibility. You don't have to have a lot of snow falling to have a blizzard. What you need for a blizzard is, first of all, frequent wind gusts over 35 miles an hour, and we're getting some of those tonight, kind of borderline for us. We've had gusts as high as 41 miles an hour here in Grand Rapids and 40 miles an hour down in Kalamazoo. And also visibility is at or below a quarter of a mile. And what we look for is areas where you might have a ground blizzard with the wind blowing so strong that what it does is it reduces visibility almost to zero, and it's a much better situation for getting those multi-car vehicles where all of a sudden the wind blows, a gust comes up, visibility drops, people slow down rapidly, and that's where you get these multi-car accidents. All right, here's what's going to be taking place. We got the snow over us right now, and it stays with us here 6 o'clock in the morning, 7, 8, still snowing, but it lightens up a little bit during the day and then finally pushes out tomorrow afternoon. I think skies eventually clear here tomorrow night, set us up for a pretty cold night with a lot of fresh snow on the ground here. In terms of total snowfall that we're forecasting here, and this is through the entire storm, most areas in the lighter shade right here around a foot. There'll be some isolated areas up around 16 inches by the time we get to tomorrow night, all total. To the south a little bit less, to the north a little bit less, and only an inch or so by the time you get up past Traverse City. Now here's the way it's going to look in the morning in Grand Rapids, and if I scoot out of the way you can see Placid Towers here. I could have made this even worse, but you wouldn't have been able to see the buildings or tell it's Grand Rapids. But temperatures will be in the teens during the day tomorrow. We will see a combination of heavy snow, blowing snow, and some drifting snow with winds at times up around 15 to 30 miles an hour. Here's a look at temperatures right now. We are at 18 in Grand Rapids and Battle Creek. We've got 19 in Kalamazoo, and you can see most everybody in the upper teens. Not much different off to the north, and with the clouds and the snow flying, I don't expect these temperatures to move much. We may drop a couple of degrees, and that would be about it. Look at wind speeds right now. We got 26 miles an hour Ionia, 26 in Grand Rapids, 22 now in Battle Creek. So very windy out there, and if you add the wind to the temperature, you get the wind chill there at -1. Here's a look at your 8-day forecast. We're taking a look at some heavy snow with up to 2 inches an hour expected here. Some of the heaviest snow could fall during the early morning right before daybreak. Blowing and drifting snow, wind chills at or below 0. Visibility is down below a quarter of a mile at times, and we'll continue to see some drifting snow here during the day on Thursday. Here's a look at your 8-day forecast. I think temperatures warm back up to around 32 over the weekend. More snow coming our way for the weekend and next week. We'll see at least 1 to 3 inches here during the day on Sunday, and then more Arctic air for the middle of next week, and you can see some high temperatures there only in the teens. We got a lot of winter weather ahead here through the rest of February. But again, most of the schools closed in the morning. Blizzard warnings continue through the morning hours tomorrow.